she's looking at me. One more. I need one more stack.
We gotta kill all these fucking ads.
Damn it, dude. Like, explosive doesn't work on the fucking big guy.
No, but LMGs do.
Oh. I need you to come up one more time.
It's like fucking whack-a-mole, dude.
I'm holding the trigger. I need to detonate you really quick. Okay, thank you. What is going on, you guys? This is All Day One on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Division 2 build video. And with this build video I'm going to be giving you is going to be an explosive build. It is a very, very powerful single target build. Probably one of the highest, if not the highest, burst damage ability or burst damage build you could possibly have. You will be able to put out millions of damage, and it will take a little bit of time. It won't take very long, especially if you are very, very accurate. Unlike myself, I'm not that great with my accuracy. My accuracy is pretty bad, but you can still do really well with this weapon or with this build in general. So the weapon I'm using is going to be called the Merciless, and it is an exotic rifle, and you can get it from the hyena bosses. So places like Jefferson Trade Center or the bank headquarters, pretty much anywhere that has a hyena boss is going to allow you to have the chance of getting this weapon to drop. Now, is it going to be guaranteed? No. Unfortunately, you have to hope RNGesus is there for you and allows you to get this weapon. Fortunately for myself, I was able to get it on my first try without I didn't even know about this weapon even existing until I got it. But I also have a friend who has done over 20, maybe even over 30 challenge mode missions on Jefferson Trade Center and hasn't gotten it yet. But he had about 1 or 2 other players that he ran with ended up getting it. So it's all about the RNG. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the specialization you're going to go with. So the specialization you're going to go with out of the 3 is going to be Demolitionist, and the reason why is because you're going to go with that 25% increase in explosive damage. This is going to help you a lot in damage. I mean, especially because Merciless is built around having a high amount of explosive damage. The explosive damage from it just is a lot stronger than its base damage. It is a rifle, so you don't need to worry about going into sharpshooter, because sharpshooter does give you an increase in rifle damage, but your initial shots are not going to be doing enough damage to really notice anything different. It's going to be doing like maybe 1000 damage, and that is very, very, very tiny. And then for the other important perk that you can get is going to be Onslaught, which gives you 15% light machine gun damage, which I would recommend using because LMGs are very, very powerful, especially against the armored men or armored guys, enemies, the tanks, I suppose that's what they're called. Because with the tanks, you can't really use Merciless on them. Explosive damage doesn't work on them that well. But LMGs will do a lot of damage to them, especially since they're always out of cover, and LMGs do damage to enemies out of cover. And then the last thing that I would recommend, well, I guess the second or third to the last thing is Incombustible. Is very nice, really good for the resistance. And then you also definitely want to make sure you get this signature built up, because you're going to be using a lot of explosive damage. So having this maxed out and being able to use your grenade launcher is going to be hitting over millions of damage as well. It's going to be very powerful. And the last ones, or the last two I suppose, is Crisis Response and Brace for Impact. Brace for Impact will allow you to pretty much take no explosive damage every 60 seconds, which is going to be useful, especially if you have enemies using mortars or just throwing grenades or something. And then the next one is Crisis Response. When armor is reduced to 0, refills all main weapon ammo. So that is also really nice when you need to reload your weapons. So up next is going to be the gear. Alright, so for the weapons I'm using, obviously you're going to be using Merciless, and then I'm using an M60, the military M60 E4, and then I'm using a sawed-off shot or double-barreled sawed-off. And with the Merciless, I'm just going to go ahead and show you everything it has, basically just talent-wise, not necessarily everything like stats, but talents. You get binary trigger. This weapon is equipped with a binary trigger that fires on trigger pull and release. Basically means that you have a double tap, so you pull the trigger once and it'll shoot twice. It will take 2 bullets from your magazine, but you can hold the second shot, so you can just pull the trigger once and hold it, and then it'll hold the second shot. The first shot is going to be a primer, and the primer is going to have a circle with an X symbol, as you can see on the guerrilla warfare, and then the second shot is the detonator. So with guerrilla warfare, pulling the trigger fires primer rounds that stay embedded in an enemy. Releasing the trigger fires detonator rounds that detonate all primers on the enemy it hits. Each primer detonated gains 75% damage per primer detonated. Only one enemy can have primers, and at most 5 primers can be embedded. And then the last perk, Brutality. While holstered, landing a shot has a 5% chance to deal 20% damage as explosive damage. So it's not too bad. Now, honestly, for myself, I never really noticed Brutality ever really proccing, and I am using the M60, but the thing with M60 is it's already a really strong weapon, and I only use it if I really need to, like if there's a bunch of enemies and I can't shoot them all at once or something, and or if there's, like I said, the tank, which the M60 or really any LMG or even shotgun would work against them. I probably wouldn't use a shotgun though, but an LMG for sure is going to be the best bet. And then for my LMG, I'm currently using Breadbasket. Landing body shots adds a stack of bonus plus 5% headshot to the next headshot for 10 seconds. Max stack is 10. And then optimized for the weapon handling. Transmission while holstered, shock applied to the agent transfers to an enemy within 10 meters can occur once every 60 seconds. Now, what would be a really good perk, in my opinion, is the best perk, is Optimist. And I have 2 LMGs, so I have Tactical M249 Para and Black Market M60 E6, both of them with the Optimist talent. The only reason why I can't use it is because I don't have 5 or less, what is it called? The firearms, I suppose that's what they're going to be called. I'm just going to call them red. I don't have 5 or less red. And what Optimist does, it says weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. And you will notice a huge difference in damage when using that talent. I mean, you'll notice it with this as well, but it's just not that great in terms of damage, because the way I see LMGs is you don't need to worry about doing headshots, and even if you do headshots, Optimist would still be the better choice versus Breadbasket. Breadbasket seems like it's more of a marksman, not marksman, but just a regular rifle or even an assault rifle type of talent. But that's what I'm running with, and it still works pretty well. And then for my sawed off, it doesn't matter what you use. I would highly recommend, if you could, get the talent that gives you an increase in reload speed, get that, because having an increase in reload speed is going to help you a lot with this, because you are going to be reloading it, but you're not going to actually be using it. So for all of my gear pieces, so all the gear pieces aren't necessarily the right ones that I want. For example, I want to use the China Light Industries Corporation. I need to at least use one piece, but this one gives me damage to elites. This one does not, and I don't want to reroll, or I don't want to recalibrate my damage to elites onto this one, because it's going to be at a low percent. It's going to give me like 9% damage to elites in replace of 22%. So that's why I just kept it the way it is. But if you can get a China Light Industries Corporation on any piece, just one piece with damage to elites for the attributes and destructive talent, which is explosive damage, 20% explosive damage, you're going to be solid. You're going to be doing a great amount of damage. And then for my backpack, I have Wyvern Wear, so it doesn't matter what you have after you get the China Industries, because there's really nothing else. I mean, I guess you can go with a cooldown reduction, or hazard protection, or damage to elites for sure. So you need a Badger Tough. So I'd say one piece of China Light Industries, one piece of Badger Tough. Let me see, just to make sure. I guess the LMG damage, because your LMG is going to be doing a lot of damage, or sometimes a lot of the work. So having one piece of Petrov defense group is going to be very useful. And then I know I have it here somewhere. I can't, oh, right here, the Alps Summit armament. One piece of Alps Summit armament would be really good. And then even, I guess, 2 pieces of Heraldi Holdings, which would be nice because of the accuracy and headshot damage. And the reason why you're not going to be using any DNH, yes, DNH does have it's the best set for crit chance, crit damage output, but explosive damage doesn't do any crits or headshot damage. So really speccing into crits or headshot isn't going to be viable for this type of build unless you are utilizing the LMG even more and you want to just build up more crit chance, crit damage with that, which is still good. But anyways, you're pretty much going to go with explosive damage on almost everything, and then as well as getting elite damage. The only thing that I don't have it on is here. Now, I do have a holster, it's in my storage, but I do have a holster that does give me damage to elites for the attributes, as well as giving me the damage or explosive damage for the talent. But the reason why I'm not using it is because filler up is going to be very useful. It's going to be very important actually to sustain this build, because the thing about Merciless is it does have a low ammo count. It doesn't, I mean, you can shoot 30 times whatever in the mag. It has 30 in the mag, but the total ammo count it has is very low. And you have to also keep in mind every trigger you pull is 2 shots, so you technically have 15 shots in total. In a sense, 15 shots, and then you're basically cutting your reserves in half. That's what it is. You're cutting your reserves in half because you're always shooting 2 times. But so having filler up is going to be very important, because what all you're going to do is, once you run out of ammo and before you start reloading, you can either switch to your M60 to start shooting enemies down, or just go straight to your sawed-off and then shoot it twice, reload it, and then you can go back to using this weapon and it won't take any ammo from your reserves. Now, I'm pretty sure filler up is bugged or something, or I don't know, broken. And once it does end up getting fixed, then you're just gonna have to take filler up out and then replace it with damage to elites or explosive damage. But until then, I would recommend having filler up. Filler up just for pretty much any build other than an SMG. I mean, you could technically use it for an SMG, but SMGs have a very fast cooldown or reload. And then for my abilities, I'm using a Seeker Mine Explosive. As you can see, it's 290,000 damage, but with the knee pad or with the holster, if I got the holster with the damage to elites and explosive damage, it would be around 350, about 340k or 330k damage for the Seeker. And then the clusters would be almost at 200,000 damage. It would be at around 180 or 190,000 damage. And this is with no mods unlocked. As you can see, I don't have any of the mods unlocked. So once those are reduced and I have a high enough skill power, if I did have higher skill power, then it would do a lot more power or damage. And then I'm also using the chem launcher, I'm using the reinforcer, because I don't have anything that gives me health back. And it is a pretty quick cooldown. It's a 14-second cooldown. It's not too bad, but like I said, I don't have anything that gives me heals. So I don't have patience, I don't have the I forgot what this is called, the safeguard perk. I don't have anything that gives heals. So you will definitely need something to sustain yourself. Now, unless you're running with someone who is using a dedicated healer build, then I would recommend using Seeker Mine and using the turret with the artillery, or artillery turret, using that. Or you can go with the Firefly that gives you the burster talent. I don't have that one unlocked either. Or the drone with the bombardier, which I don't have either. So I don't have any of those ones. But yeah, that's really all you're gonna really need to go with, is mainly the Seeker Mine. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys a little bit of damage output real quick. So as you can see, the red mark right up there, that is the mark, that's the primer. And you can see on the side of my gun, the right side of my gun, it shows a number 2. Now a 3, those are the stacks, so you can keep and count how many stacks you have going on. And I did 1.3 million damage. Now if I were to switch my holster out with the damage to elites, and I believe, let me see if I even have it still, but you'll notice it's going to do a lot more damage. So I don't know, I think it's this one actually. So it's going to be doing a lot more damage. It'll do about 1.5 million damage, and I'm pretty sure 1.5 mil damage is the total amount of damage you can put out. Yeah, so 1.5 mil damage on this one, and I'm gonna do 1.5 on this target as well. As you can see, they're both the same number. So this is what I'm thinking is the because this is a longer range, the damage numbers should have been different, because normally the damage numbers are the same, or are not the same when it comes to short distance to long distance. They normally decrease in damage, but I think 1.5 million damage might be the damage cap number cap, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm going a little off topic right now, but that's pretty much it with this build video. If this helped you guys out, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section as well. And if you guys like this build, please go ahead and share it with your other friends and family and whatnot. It does work pretty decent in PvP. If you are a PvP type player, it is a great build against the players who do enjoy using a shield. So if you see anyone using a shield, all you have to do is just shoot at the shield. Just mark the shield a couple times. So 1, 2, and their shield is pretty much broken. 630,000 damage. And you're gonna be solid. You're gonna be breaking shields. You're gonna be doing a lot of damage. Now, if you're going against a one-shot sniper build, you're gonna more than likely lose. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. Hopefully this helped you guys out. This is all day-to-day one on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.